Yo, what's good? My name is Ron Griswell, born and raised North Carolina, North Kakalaki, North Carolina. Any of them would do. I am in the outdoor industry. I used to be a guide. I take people outside. I connect communities. I run a nonprofit, HBCUs Outside, connecting historical black colleges and universities to outdoor recreation, adventure sports, and the outdoor industry. And I dabble. I'm gonna leave it at that. And I'm ready to have a creative AF conversation.
Welcome to the beanbag. I really thought that we'd be a lot closer on this beanbag, but I'm glad it's actually a comfortable space.
Hey, yeah, I'm digging it. This is a comfortable ass beanbag. I asked my homeboy where I can get it from. I'm about to order one of these. Home Depot. They are not a sponsor, but get y'all one of these, man.
I mean, if they want to become a sponsor, I have a whole 100 subscribers on
Word?
YouTube. Oh, yeah.
For real?
Yeah, I used to daily vlog.
What?
That was my creative outlet, and I realized I have been so focused on making things just for companies and brands that come to me on that end of things, and I haven't been doing anything creative anymore.
Are you serious?
That's why I'm doing this YouTube channel.
Bro, round of applause, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Throw that sound effect in later.
No, is that it kind of fits.
Throw the Jamaican horns in.
Yeah. So I just wanted to have a conversation with you and others who are not necessarily in the creative field per se, as people think about it, stereotypically, but are creative individuals. Because I think some of the most creative people I've met in this world are not necessarily in any kind of arts, but they think like a creative.
Absolutely. I was thinking about this earlier today, actually. I think when you originally introduced the idea to me, I was thinking about how we look at creatives, quote unquote, as photographers, artists, videographers, the all-encompassing content creator. And what we fail to realize is that, no matter honestly what you're in, unless you just have to follow something by the book, anytime you're given the opportunity to think about something and just have the opportunity to throw shit at the wall and figure things out, you are in that creative mindset. I think about, right over here in the same room, y'all don't see him, but Alex and starting Black Outside. I think about my journey with starting HBCUs Outside and my homie, CJ and what he's doing with Boys in the Wood. Like, it takes creative solutions when it comes to working within certain communities. It takes creative solutions. Anytime there's a problem that you're wishing to solve, there isn't going to be a one exact way to do it. It's going to be throwing things at the wall to see what sticks. And that in turn is, of course, creatives. We are all creatives, people on the ground, activists, starting companies and nonprofits, creatives, man.
I really do think we were all born creative.
Absolutely.
And I blame school.
Yep.
That's like I blame school for, just beating that out of us.
Yeah.
Like, it really beat it out of us. Like,
yep.
Is needed to overcome any kind of problem is a way to think about it and not in the same way that we got to that problem. And
that is absolutely right.
We're so forced to keep on going down the same path and keep trying the same things, and the same things don't work, and it really takes creative solutions. So that's one thing I appreciate even about you and what you've created. Because,
I appreciate you, man.
Absolutely. It wasn't there. And if it wasn't for you, it wouldn't be there. And you had the confidence to make it a thing.
That should be the the number one definition of creativity. There was nothing, now there is.
Yeah.
Like, that's point blank.
Yeah.
You can hit period after that, hit send, the conversation over. Like, that is just it. Like, seriously. No, absolutely.
No, that's a very good point. Because, but I do like to think about, how you even get to a point of getting back to being creative. Because, we were all, I look at my kids; they're all weird, and I love it. And I want to.
Yeah.
I need
to
find
the pizza
a way.
here.
The pizza's here. So we're gonna take a pause.
The pizza here, y'all. we about to we're gonna be eating pizza at the same. I don't know how I'm gonna eat a pizza laying down, but best believe.
One of the building blocks, or maybe even the first initial building block of creativity, is having confidence, like self-confidence.
Yep, absolutely.
Where does your confidence come from?
You know, I want to say that my confidence, you know, rather than saying starting with that, I think so many creatives, you know, of course you've probably encountered this, and not to put it on you if you haven't, but that imposter syndrome. And so when you start talking about confidence, I think that for one, it's okay to be like, hey, I am going to be vulnerable in sharing that I don't always feel confident, but I know that I always must move forward. And so that is a mindset that I instilled in myself because you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
So when you start making these decisions to say, how am I going to bring this into the world? How am I going to do this? How I'm going to put, you know, one and one together to make that two, to make three or four or five. It's like, I don't know. And thus, I may not be the most confident in the decision that I'm making, but I know I have to make the decision. I have to do it because if I don't, I'm going to be paralyzed. And I'm not going to move. And if you're not moving, you know, that's you're dead. You're stagnant. So honestly, it's like, you know what? Not even thinking about where my confidence comes from. But here's the crazy thing is I can actually say where my confidence comes from now. But starting first with, I remember those moments of being like, I don't know if I'm confident making a decision, but it's like, I just know I have to move forward. I'm to the point now where what gives me confidence is that I understand that very, very, very few people on this earth know exactly what they're doing. So I don't know if that should make me feel good or not, but it's just like, Ron, why are you freaking out over this? Or why are you freaking out over that? Like, everyone's trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Everyone's trying to figure it out. So I have confidence knowing that, Ron, you are human and you're having a human experience right now. And everyone else is sharing in this experience with you. Therefore, release it. Release it. Move forward. You got it. It's all good. No one's going to judge you because what does it always say, you know, when you're talking in front of people? No one knows that you're actually, quote unquote, messing up. You know, this is just the things you tell yourself. So it's just like, just do it. That's it.
Yeah.
Not to hit people with the Nike slogan, but, you know.
I mean, yeah, you know, because, I mean, that's the thing, too, is like, I've been thinking about that. Like, you know, the Nike slogan, they hit it on the head. Yeah. And there's really nothing better than that as far as like what needs to happen for you to accomplish anything.
Yep.
And I do feel like oftentimes when you have a gift, it is hard for you to understand that you have to like be grateful for it.
Absolutely.
And you can't really punish yourself just because it's harder for other people.
Yeah.
And that happens a lot with those creatives that I know, and they'll do things to self-sabotage and keep them from making that big leap. And I'm saying this like I'm not one. It happens to me all the time. Mm-hmm. But I think the biggest thing for me is understanding and being aware that it happens, and then choosing to move forward, like you were talking about, like moving forward. Like you don't have a choice, because if you want something, you either do what you need to do to get it, or you don't. There's really no try.
Yep. And like I said, leaning into that human experience, man, and just recognizing that this is something that's normal and natural. I'm telling you right now, not everyone has it figured out. People are trying to figure out the difference between them and someone who's not moving forward is just that, the movement. Someone has stopped while other people have continued to move forward, even though they just really don't know. And for the people who have it figured out, good for you. Like, if you have everything figured out, that is absolutely amazing. But by and large, the conversations I have with other people, other creatives at that, people are always just trying something new, experimenting, and that's what it's about, man.
I don't think I know anyone that has it all figured out.
If I ever meet that person, man, I'm gonna ask them for the secret. But yeah, I know zero people. The only people who I would assume that have it all figured out is some of the mentors of people I met over the years, which are normally like rich, older people.
Yeah.
But even still, they talk about, I had to figure it out. I had to experiment.
Yep.
I actually ended up doing this and I made a mistake. And then I was like, oh, well, maybe I can, tweak it this way. And so there's always that figuring out process is always going to be there.
You just hit on a couple of things that I think we don't think about enough, because we, in our generation, tend to not want to wait for things to come to us. We're a little bit overexposed to the final product.
Yep.
Before, the final product was in the magazines and on TV, but now you can see someone that you went to high school with, what their final product looks like. You don't know how many takes it took them to get to that final product, or what they spent, or what they did to get that, or what they're faking, whatever it is. You don't know that, and by faking, you lose the ability to have a mentor.
Yeah.
And mentorship is so important, and having like that apprenticeship phase is so important, and we don't get I see a lot of people not being able to take advantage of that because of what this Instagram and social media culture has done to our creative community.
I can wholeheartedly agree with that. I can wholeheartedly agree with that. Something that I have definitely been struggling with over the past couple years is the concept of mentor and the way I normally see it portrayed. You normally see, I think a mentor right now, I close my eyes and I think about it in my head. It's like, all right, Ron, you got to get a mentor. This is someone who's going to show you the ropes and tell you what to do, or maybe help you figure it out on your own. But, this is someone who is going to be an older person who's walked this path before, and they got it figured out to a degree. And I kind of realize is that those people do exist, yes, but I come to reframe what the word mentor means. Mentor can mean books. A mentor can mean you can pick up books from people you admire and learn from them without them actually being in your life. Mentorship means you can be around people. I could be around people like Uzi. I can see how creative you are. I can see how you walk in a room. I can see how you navigate spaces. I never asked you to be my mentor, but I'm constantly learning from you. That is also a mentor. So I feel like, we have to get outside of our own heads sometimes. Like, I don't need someone who they know that they're my mentor.
Yeah.
Like I think how a movie will portray a mentor, but it's like, you know what? This is someone I am just observing the way they move through life, and I'm considering them a mentor. They may not even know my mentor. This book that I picked up from such and such, reading the words that they put into this book, this person is becoming a mentor because they are describing how they move through life, and that's helping me move through life. They may never meet me, they may never know me, but this person is a mentor. So honestly, man, I feel like a lot of it is just reframing as well, how we think about mentors. I'm going to throw a wild one out there. Mentorship to me is also, because I'm an outdoors guy, mentorship to me is also about watching nature. Learning from the environment, man. Looking at a river and realizing no matter the obstacles, it still flows. Yeah. Taking those kind of things. Yeah. Recently learning about how, looking at beavers, this is crazy, bro. I think we have this thing in our head, like a lot of people may, think about beavers and automatically think of the cartoon Angry Beavers and think of them as these silly things. Other people think of beavers as something that destroys habitats. But when you actually look at beavers and realize that what they do and what they build, they actually end up creating community for all the species in that environment. I'm looking at that and it's like, wow, beavers build community no matter what another animal, insect, bird, whatever it looks like, and invites them into this community. They are doing something for their community. They are community builders. That's mentorship. Taking notes and observations from nature is mentorship. There's so much to learn if you just keep your eyes open. And if your eyes are open, whatever you're looking at can be a mentor.
I love it, and it kind of like makes me think about how I think about apprenticeships now, whereas like that's like a self apprenticeship.
Yep.
Where
Yep.
you're finding the different pieces of information that is out there that's going to help you through your journey, and doing it in such a way that isn't necessarily just in your specific field.
Yep. Absolutely.
And I appreciate you coming out for this conversation.
Anytime, bro.
Last but not least, just tell the people what you're up to and how they can follow you and support you.
Oh man, what am I up to? I'm traveling. I'm looking forward to this trip I'm taking to Nairobi, Kenya soon. My buddy has a school out there that he supports, and there's nothing more important to me than going to a place and learning and listening to people on how you can or I can support. So going up and showing up in that space and trying to be a resource to people and connect individuals to be able to lend their support to people who may be in need or organizations who may be in need. That just gives me so much life, man. I think helping people is the easiest cheat code to feeling good. Like, and that's selfish, but it's the easiest cheat code to feeling good, man. Just helping others. And honestly, man, and the words of the late great Muhammad Ali, like, service to others is the rent you pay for your time here on earth. I completely believe that, man. So that's how I'm spending my time, in service to others. I have this trip to Nairobi coming up. So hopefully, I can do some programming, working with youth and some other organizations there. And I also have, the nonprofits that I work with, HBCUs outside and Boys in the Wood, and working with students at historical Black colleges and universities, and also building spaces for other Black men with the outdoors as the medium, as the space for us to connect and build brotherhood, talk about mental health, talk about toxic masculinity and things like that. So those are some of the things I'm up to. And for people who, just want to follow along, you can catch me on all the socials, Twitter, Instagram, mainly Instagram. I'm trying to work on my Twitter, y'all, but it's hard for your boy to tweet.
I just deleted it because I need more space on my phone.
Hey, man, it's difficult. I'm really trying. I'm trying to diversify. My not trying to put all my eggs in one basket because they all on Instagram right now. So if you really want to check me out, I'm on Instagram at Ron Griswell. That's RONGRISWELL. But also I'm on my business shit. So catch me on LinkedIn, Ronald V.E. Griswell. V for Vernon, E for Edward, Ronald V.E. Griswell. That's my whole government. Never call me that in the streets. It's all good, though. And, other than that, that's it. That's all I got for y'all, man.
All right. Peace.